Okay. All right. So you do the next one. B, you write down H sub O, H sub A. Did you guys get that? Less than 2.5 and greater than or equal to 2.5? Which one's H sub O, which one's H sub A? Right. Okay. Now there are two types of errors that can come with hypothesis testing. A type 1 error is that the null hypothesis is rejected incorrectly. And a type 2 error is when the null hypothesis is accepted incorrectly. So which is better and which is worse in real life to have a problem with? Is it worse to reject something incorrectly or accept something incorrectly? Well, kind of depends on what?
Accept.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because if you reject it, then you don't have anything to do with it anyway.
Yeah.
If you do it, if you reject it, that's gonna help you.
Okay, so let's say it was kids being admitted to college. Okay, let's say somebody made a mistake. Okay, and somebody was rejected from the college that they wanted to go to, but they shouldn't have been. Like they had like all the qualifications, somebody just made a mistake. Compared to somebody getting accepted by accident. Like they shouldn't have been accepted, but they were. Which one's worse? Yeah, so it really depends, it kind of depends on the situation and what you're talking about. For example, if we're talking about testing for marijuana. That's right. I wrote the word marijuana in my notes. Whoa, those are crazy, guys. All right. So let's say, I'm gonna make a little chart here. Kind of wish I hadn't put that line in, so if you haven't done that yet, then good on you, just this part. But you can write over it if you did. All right, so let's suppose some dude is sent in for drug testing. Okay, so the truth about the dude, he could be like, yes, he's a drug user, or no, he's not a user. That's just the truth about him, right? Not about the testing, that's just what's actually true about him. And the test could say, yes, he is a user, or the test could say, no, he's not a user. So what do we want the test to do? Like, let's suppose I made the test, okay, and I want my test to be successful. What do I want it to do? Like, what if somebody is a user? Then what should my test say? Right, so this is good, right? If they're a user and my test says, yes, they're a user, then my test is good. What's another good thing to happen? If they're not a user and my test says not a user. And this is not telling you about how you feel about marijuana. This is just about how accurate my test is, right? Like, okay, it said it correctly. Here's the bad things that happen when somebody isn't a user, but the test says it is. It's called a false positive. That's when the test says, oh, they've got marijuana in their system, when they don't. Okay? And this is called a false negative. And that is when somebody is a user, but the test doesn't catch it. Okay? So, I have the same thing here that you can kind of compare for a hypothesis test so you can understand it. So the truth of the null hypothesis, this is just like the actual truth right here, whether something's true or false. And this is what my test says, whether it's true or false. So if the statement was actually true and my test says it's true, I did a good job. And if my test is, or the truth of the matter is that the null hypothesis was false, like I'm going to get bigger than a 3.0, and that turned out to be false, and then I did my test, and then it actually is false. Like, good job, I predicted it well. This right here is a type 2 error. That's that false positive. And a type 1 error is over here. By the way, I haven't done this in a long time. I usually do it for this unit. Let's see, percentages of false negatives. Ooh, with COVID tests, let's do that. False negatives is 20%. False positives. I probably should have used COVID instead of marijuana on this one. Oh, they don't have information on that. All right, fine. Let's look up false negative and positive marijuana testing. Probably a good thing to look up on my school computer, huh? Percentage.